Okay, this is the second part of my review segment for this week. I'm going to be reviewing Petshop of Horrors, the 4-episode OVA.
Whoa, you mean Petshop of Horrors?
Yeah, horrors.
Horrors?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I'm gonna say horrors, but horrors.
There you go. You got it. You got it.
Horrors. I don't know what the hell. Well, I'll make this short. It's only a 4-episode OVA. Basically, it came out in Japan. Basically some background info. It originally started as a manga that came out in 1995. And then I think it started out as a manga, 1995, and then it made this metamorphosis into a 4-episode OVA, and it's a 90s show, and you really get smacked in the head that this is a 90s show. I mean, it came out in 1999, but it is definitely 90s. Like, you would look at it and it's like, that is 90s. That is a 90s show. They had that look, you know. And basically, how am I gonna put this? The story is kind of weird. Basically, it's a good show. Don't get me wrong.
Show's gay.
The show centers around this pet shop somewhere in San Francisco, in America.
What I tell you?
Yeah, I know. In the 90s, Japanese people had this love affair with America. You see it when Digikara came out, and it was like, oh, America. This guy who runs a pet shop, and then people goes into it. The guy who's running it is this mysterious Chinese man named Count D. Another very 90s stuff right there. And basically Count D, he's running this pet shop, and he's giving out these mysterious pets. These pets that you can't get in any other pet store. And, the people who, gets these pets are given certain kinds of requirements. Like, okay, I'll sell you this pet, and it's usually the pet of their dreams. It's, we're talking mermaids, like a real-life mermaid here, I'll sell you this mermaid, but you have to adhere to the contract. Every pet comes with a contract, and somehow, some way, the owners almost always end up breaking that goddamn contract. Like, you have to feed the mermaid this many times, or you have to, make sure it has salt water in a tank. And the people who are buying these pets are always getting them for some kind of diluted reason, and it's kind of interesting. The whole show is basically about greed. It's about the greed of mankind. It's about wanting more than what you're willing to pay for it.
It's about a pet shop.
You know what I mean? It is about a pet shop, but this is a 90s show. So it can't just be about a pet shop. Remember, this is the Goosebumps era we're talking about, So it can't just be that, you know what I mean? Basically, he sells them the pet, and then, all 4 episodes are basically the same. They don't go too much into the background of Count D, which, I'm pretty sure they did this in the manga, I think they went into more details of where it comes from, but they never really says where he comes from. And he's being investigated by, the 90s version of the FBI, which is these white cops that wear these white beaters with this part taken off. They're so 90s. Oh my god, it's amazing. Anyway, it's, and that's the basic story. All 4 episodes are basically the same, and it deals on greed. It deals on that part of human nature. You know what I mean? And I have to say, it is an extremely good show. I mean, even today when I watched it again, I watched it a long time ago, it still holds up. It is, just absolutely amazing. Almost like one of the perfect 90s shows. Except for the 4th episode, because I didn't like the 4th episode. But the first 3 episodes, it's like, if you really wanted to know what 90s animation was like, and almost like what's wrong with today's animation, with developers not being very ambitious today.
Developers.
Yeah, like if you think Haruhi Suzumiya was crazy, if you think they're breaking ground, watch Pet Shop of Horrors. I mean, they were really breaking ground back then. Back then, it's like everything that get thrown out the window, and it's an OVA, which means it looks really good, you know, for a '90s show even.
Is it short?
It's short. Each episode only 25 minutes long, which is, you know what I mean? Man, I want it longer. I wanted more background information. Conti was so mysterious. He's almost like this fruity guy, you know. He acts almost like he's gay, but, you know, they don't really say.
Yes.
And there's so much questions that I have left over. It's like, you know, it made me want to read the manga. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, is Count D himself, you know, an animal? Is he a pet of somebody? Because, you know, episode 4 kind of hinted that, but never really, never really explained it. Basically, it's almost like an incomplete masterpiece, you know. And I had a lot of fun just watching it. It's nice. It's short. It's one of those gems. It came out in America, so I think it's out in English somewhere. Good luck finding it, you know. But the Japanese isn't really that bad. It's pretty good. And if you want good, quick, you know, fix of 90s programming in an OVA fashion with a little touch of horror in there, you know, then, you know, gotta check out Pet Shop of Horrors.
Now tell me some horror parts. Why is it?
It's just absolutely amazing.
Why did you put a dab of horror in there? Is there a killing? Is there?
Oh yeah, there's a killing. There's a guy. There's the mermaid episode, which is my favorite episode. That's why I keep referring to it. And if you ask people who watch the show, they probably would say the mermaid episode. They probably would say that they like that. Basically, it's a guy. His wife died, and you know, because she threw herself into the sea, and you know, he went to this pet shop looking for a pet, and then this guy saw a mermaid. You know, he's like, "Oh yeah, I have a mermaid if you want." So he was like, "Oh my god, you have a mermaid?" And he goes to check it out, and the mermaid looks just like his wife. So County's like, "Oh, maybe your wife reincarnated into a mermaid." You know, so he's like, "Okay, I'll take the mermaid," and it's like, "Oh, but, you know, you gotta follow the contract, make sure you feed her." And then all of a sudden, you know, he was like so concerned with banging his wife that he forgot to feed her, and this mermaid ends up eating him. And, you know, this mermaid wasn't really a mermaid at all. It was just a giant fish that, you know, he was so deluded with love and grief that this giant fish that ate his original wife when she jumped off and, you know, it went to the sea. That fish ate his wife, and it ends up eating him too. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's gruesome, but he kind of got what he wanted. He wanted to be with his wife, so he got to be with his wife. You know what I mean?
I got you.
So
yeah.
it's kind of messed up. So it's clever. It's great. I like it. And the episodes are like that. Greed, grief, just a lot of different parts of human culture and society and emotions. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely go check it out. You know, if I have to rate it, I'll give this like B++.
Yeah.
Very good show.
Looked like a really, really good show. Are you over the limit?
Yeah, I'm pretty much over the limit. So I guess that's it for my part. I guess I'm gonna have to hand the rest over to Christopher.
Okay,
Bye.
okay.